Alright, you guys, I'm back, and this is a 40-gallon tank. Right now I'm gonna run through the cost of setup because I want it to be simple. I made a video earlier, but it seemed too complicated for, I don't know, just people trying to get into the hobby, and I'm still learning myself, so I just want to take it simple. For a 40-gallon tank, you could run hang on the back. This is probably, I would say, one of the last big tanks you could run without a sump. A 60-gallon you could do if you had like two big tanks. But right now the filtration's great. I'll run up the cost right now. So the cost for this tank, I got it on sale from Petco. Sorry if, excuse me, I'm feeling a bit sick. This tank I got from Petco is about, I think, 40 or 50 bucks. Because I guess I had the half off. So that's 50. The live rock, I got 40 pounds. The Carib Live C, that was about 80, we'll say. So right now it's 130. Let's see what's next. The protein skimmer was about, that's the protein skimmer, by the way. It's about, I think, like 60 right now, so we're at 190 right now. And then the two wave makers, that one on the left was like 10 bucks, and then that one on the right was I think 20. So in total it was like 29 bucks. So I guess we're at like 220 right now. Along with a 40-gallon tank, it's perfect for a beginner. You know, you could get away with a lot of livestock if you have the right filtration. And I know as a beginner, I always wanted a lot of fish. And then the coral could come later. So as long as you got a lot of filtration, I think you're pretty much set with the amount of fish you want. It's just about how big they get, really. So let's see what else I'm running. I got a stand with a little hoodie, so I could place all my dosing supplements, my test kits, and my other goodies. The stand itself costed, I think, 100 because it was on sale on Amazon. I always look for the deals, so we're at like 320. You want an algae scrubber to clean algae off the glass when you're tank cycling. So I'd say, I think that was about $12. We could round it 15. So I'm at 320. I'm at 335. And then the Aqua Clear filter was on sale from Petco as well. I think it was 80 bucks. So right now the cost is 320 plus 80. Sorry for doing the math, but I'd say it's like 405 or 410. All right. Now what else you're wondering is like, what else do I need for the heater? Do I need a heater? How many watts? Right now I'm running a one from Amazon as well. I got it for like 10 bucks. Always look out for the sales. So we're probably at like near 350, 360. But for a 40-gallon tank, you'd want probably a 150, 200 watt heater would be great. The only thing that's gonna set you back, I'd say, is probably these lights. As for if you want a reef tank, you probably want, I think it's like 3 to 5 watts if you're using LEDs per gallon, right? So let's do the math. These guys are 95 watts each. All right, if I'm running on the low side with like basic coral, that's 210 watts. So these guys both, they run about, I'd say, oh wait, no, I'm sorry, it's about 120 watts. So these guys both, they run around 190 watts because they're 95 watts each. So it's a perfect size tank for the lights. These guys run about 165 with tax. 160. We'll just say 170. You know, I don't want to give your hopes up here because it's kind of expensive for this startup. So in total, you're spending about 340 with the lights and with the whole tank and everything I mentioned. You're probably spending about 700. Okay, so now that you got everything, what else do you need? I usually like to get a lid right here. Here's a nice lid. You could get it from Petco for like, I think like 30 bucks for a 40-gallon breeder. So that's about 30, let's see, 730. All right, so now that you got this all set up, what are you doing next? You're gonna have to get some salt water, but first you're gonna have to get some rocks and some sand. So for a 40-gallon breeder, you could probably get away with 30 pounds of live sand. And that will run you around probably 30, so 760, and then the 40 pounds of live dry rock, I should say, probably around 80. So you're looking at 840 right now. And once you get that done, you're probably wondering, what kind of salt water should you use, right? You don't want to keep going back to the store every week to do water changes, paying $1.29 for salt water or $1 for RO water. You know, a key thing for if you want a reef tank is having a RODI unit. So you're probably looking at, I bought mine on Amazon. It's a RODI Twistin. I bought it for 120. It's been working great. Right now the TDS meter reads about 2 to 3, I'd say, but it's perfect because it's been lasting for probably 4 months. So I'll probably change it when it gets past 10. But it'll last you a good while before you have to change the cartridges. So I'd say that one costed me 120. So our total cost is about 960 to make salt water. And now that you have everything set, what do you do? Well, the easiest thing to do is set up a quarantine tank, because a lot of these fish come from the ocean, right? And in the ocean's so big we haven't discovered, I think, 80-90% of it. So they're riddled with parasites. But the waves wash them off. There's so much bodies of water to where the parasites can't attach and kill them. But in an enclosed system like this, they're able to drop off in the sand bed, wait, reproduce, and when their eggs hatch, they're looking for a host, right? And if you guys don't quarantine your fish, you'll end up with diseases that could potentially kill your fish within like 1 day, 2 days to like a week. So the best thing to prevent against that is a quarantine tank. You could get a basic 10-gallon tank for, I'd say, around probably like 20 bucks. I'd say the whole startup for a quarantine tank is probably around 100, 80 to 100 with everything included and a stand. So you're probably looking at like 980. So if I were to save up for anything for this whole thing, I'd probably want to save around 1,000 for a reef tank. And now that you have the nitrogen cycle starting and you want to get fish, you got your quarantine tank set up, I always recommend setting up a quarantine tank first before this is all set up, because these fish are going to be in here for at least 3 to 4 weeks, and you're going to treat them with the likes of copper and Pro. Copper 4 weeks, Pro 2 weeks, and you're pretty much good. I usually just do copper 3 weeks, Pro 2 weeks, and just release them. But other than that, this video has been kind of long, so I'll talk about what to do else after. Sorry if I took you guys' time, but this is pretty much for a beginner. Simple as possible. That's the way I like to keep it.